Hello, everyone, and welcome to another lesson with Ralph. Hope you're fine. Well, today we're going to talk about IELTS writing task 2, and today we'll learn how to write an explanation opinion essay. So, first of all, let's take a look at our task 2 question. These days, in many countries, fewer people go to the cinema to watch movies than in the past. Why is this? Is it a good thing or a bad thing? All right, this kind of essay is called explanation opinion. So here in the first part of the question, why is this? You have to explain, for example, the causes of this decline. And in the second part of the question, is it a good thing or a bad thing? You have to provide your opinion. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? So first, we'll have to check our structure. So you know that in the introduction, you end your introduction with a thesis statement, which either indicates your plan or explains that the issue is important or indicates your position or opinion for the second question, right? Now, try to refer to both questions in your thesis statement, to both questions. For example, there are causes. We'll talk about it more, right, in detail, how to write different kinds of thesis statements here for this type of question. But what is important here is that you have to try to refer to both questions in your thesis statement. And then you write two main body paragraphs, write one paragraph for the explanation and one paragraph for the opinion. And do not forget to include a clear topic sentence in each main body paragraph. And then you have to include 2 or 3 reasons or causes in the main body paragraph 1. And in main body paragraph 2, you'll write from the position that this situation is either good, bad, more good than bad, or more bad than good. So you have 4 options in your second body paragraph. You can either say, all right, that is totally good, or no, that is totally bad. Or you can say that it is more good than bad, means the positive points are more than negative points, or negative points are more than positive points, right? And then you start your main body paragraph 2 with a topic sentence, which indicates your position, right? Your position should be mentioned in the first sentence of your main body paragraph 2. And then you include 2 or 3 points to support it, right? And try to connect some of these points to the reasons or the causes that you had mentioned in your main body paragraph 1. And then you use the conclusion for to refer to the causes of the change, or right, the first part of the conclusion, you refer to those causes, and then you repeat your opinion in the second sentence of your conclusion. And in the third sentence, you express a hope or a wish or fear for the future, right? Now let's start with our first part, which is our introduction. And you know that we always start, and it is actually optional. It's not necessary to start your introduction with general statement, but starting your introduction with a general statement can be a good way to prepare the reader for the thing that you are going to discuss. Now, we start with a general statement here. There is no doubt. So we are going to talk about the topic. We kind of, let's say, you can prepare the reader for the second question. Now, here we kind of talk about the changing patterns in entertainment, all right? There is no doubt that our tastes in entertainment have changed over the decades. You know, this general statement is kind of related to the topic that we are talking about, the change of attitudes toward entertainment, all right? Now, after this, we have to restate the question. We have to paraphrase the question. What was the question? These days, in many countries, fewer people go to the cinema to watch movies than in the past. All right, this is the question. Now, we have to paraphrase this sentence. There has been a significant drop in cinema attendances in most parts of the world. Movie theaters, which used to be packed, are now invariably half empty. I'm just making it more, let's say, more beautiful, the sentence, more, let's say, catchy. This way, you use a lot of vocabularies here, right, to show the examiner that you know a wide range of vocabulary. And if your paraphrase of the question is two sentences, consists of two sentences, that's okay. As you can see here, there has been a significant drop in cinema attendances in most parts of the world. Movie theaters, which used to be packed, are now invariably half empty. And now it's time to write your thesis statement. All right, there are three ways that you can write your thesis statement. All right. The first one is to indicate that the issue is important. Now, this is my thesis statement. It is worth analyzing the reasons for this decline and discussing its impact. This is one way of writing your thesis statement, that the issue is important. Another way that you can write your thesis statement is to indicate your plan. For example, the following paragraphs will examine the reasons for this fall in popularity and consider whether it is a positive or negative development. This is a kind of thesis statement in which you indicate your plan. And the third way in which you can write your thesis statement is to indicate your position on the second question. Now, we can write it in three ways. I'm going to write three thesis statements here in which you can indicate your position on the second question. The first one is, we clearly need to analyze the reasons for this disturbing or worrying trend. So, this disturbing or worrying trend signifies the negative aspect, and it shows our opinion, our position that this fall, this decrease is negative, all right? The second way we can write here is another way. This essay will examine why this reduction in popularity has taken place and suggest that it is predominantly positive or negative. You should write one of them. So this is one way of showing the reader, the examiner, that you definitely believe that it is totally positive or negative. And let's work on the third way. This essay will examine why this reduction in popularity has taken place and suggests that it can be both a positive and a negative development. So this is a kind of partial opinion, that you do not totally say that it is positive or negative. You kind of have a balanced attitude toward this decline. You say that it is both positive and negative. All right? So these are the ways that we can write our thesis statement. Now let's start writing our first body paragraph, in which we are going to talk about causes. But before that, we have to write our plan for, let's say, two main body paragraphs. All right, our first main body paragraph is causes. So in writing our plan, we write causes. What are causes? We have to write 2 or 3 causes for this decline. So I'm going to write 3 causes here. The first one is financial. What do I mean by financial? It means that tickets nowadays are expensive. This is our first cause. Our second cause is technological. Why? What do I mean by technological? It means that due to technological advancements, nowadays people can rent videos or watch movies online. So there are no reasons that they have to get stuck in traffic and go to cinema theaters, right? And the third cause is social. By this, I mean social attitudes have changed in the past, for example, 20 or 30 years, and people are reluctant to go to cinema theaters. These are our three causes for this decline. And then we have to write our second body paragraph in our plan. Now, in this essay, I'm going to say that this decline is more negative than positive. All right, I'm not going to say that I totally believe that it is totally positive or negative. I'm going to have a balanced view. So when you say that it is more negative than positive, all right, after your topic sentence in your body paragraph, you write one positive point and then you provide 2 or 3 negative points. So if I say it is more negative than positive, so I provide one positive point about this decline. And I say that it is a greater choice, right, as my reason. And what are the negative? What are the negative points? The first one is that so many jobs are lost because of this decline. And then the second one is that it damages society. So what do I mean by this? It damages a sense of community. So when you do not go to cinema theaters and you do not meet other strangers, so a sense of community diminishes in the society. All right? Now let's just start writing our second paragraph or our first main body paragraph. So we always start our paragraph with a clear topic sentence, and in this topic sentence, I'm going to mention the 3 causes. This spectacular change in viewing habits has financial, technological, and social causes. So I've mentioned 3 causes here. Now I'm going to talk about these causes more in detail. So firstly, I'm going to talk about the first cause. Cinema tickets can be horrendously expensive, and parents in particular are reluctant to spend on luxuries when there are cheaper alternatives. This is the first, that is related to financial. Now I'm going to talk about technological causes. As well as that, so using cohesive devices, very important, right? As well as that, enormous technological changes need to be mentioned. So what do I mean by this? It is now quick and convenient to rent a movie online and watch it on a laptop or smartphone in the comfort of your own home. So as you can see, I'm expanding. I'm giving more detail, right? I'm supporting my idea here about the causes. Now the third one, which is social, I use another cohesive device, and because it is the last one, I write finally. Finally, social attitudes have changed and many communal activities have become less popular. Cultures tend to be far more individualistic than they used to be, and many prefer to watch films alone or with smaller groups of friends. This is another, let's say, cause, and my explanation for this cause. Now, I'm going to write second main body paragraph, and as I said, I'm going to say that it is more negative than positive. So in your topic sentence, you should definitely write that it is more negative than positive. The consequences of this development are probably more negative than positive. All right? More negative than positive. From the perspective of film lovers, this represents a definite improvement. This is the positive point, all right? As I said, because I say that it is more negative than positive. So you can provide one positive point about this decline and then 2 or 3 negative points. So from the perspective of film lovers, this represents a definite improvement. Online providers give them greater choice for less money. This is one positive point. Now, because I'm going to change my attitude, I'm going to change my position here that, all right, now I'm going to talk about negative points. I should write a very good cohesive device. And for this, I can write however. However, from the viewpoint of everyone employed by cinemas and others working in the film industry, The outlook is bleak. So, what do I mean? I'm going to explain it more. Thousands have already lost their jobs, and this trend is likely to continue. So, this is the first reason that I believe that this is a negative. What is the negative point? That so many jobs are lost because of this decline. Now, the second one and the last one. So, I'm using a cohesive device finally. Finally, it can be argued that this development damages society. What do I mean by damaging society? I have to explain more. I have to provide more details in order to support my position here. When humans spend less time participating in activities with strangers, their sense of community is diminished. They may begin to trust their fellow humans less and have less empathy with them. This can clearly have serious repercussions for society as a whole. You know, you see how I support my argument here, how I support the negative points that I mentioned here. What do I mean? What are the consequences of this trend? I've put them all here after providing my second negative point. Now it's time to write our conclusion. All right. As I said before, the first sentence in our conclusion reflects the first question, or let's say in explanation. In conclusion, for the reasons stated above, audience figures in cinemas will probably continue to drop. This is the first part of the question. And the second part is my opinion. I should reflect my opinion in the second sentence of the conclusion here. Although this is understandable, it saddens film lovers who are convinced that nothing compares with the amazing experience of watching a movie on a big screen. And after this, I can either provide a fear, a hope, or a wish. It's optional. You can provide it or not. I've decided not to provide it here, just referring to the first and the second part of the question in my conclusion. All right. That's all for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed this lesson. And remember that in explanation, opinion, essay, you always have 4 paragraphs: introduction, conclusion, and 2 main body paragraphs in order to refer to the 2 parts of the question. Until next time, enjoy your time, stay tuned, and goodbye.